The Grizzlies make a sneaky good signing as one of their Western Conference competitors was forced to give up one of their young guns. The Grizzlies decided they're going to take advantage and sign Olivier Maxence Prosper, they call him OMAX, to a two-way contract with Memphis. Why did Dallas give him up, and what could he do with Memphis in maybe securing a full-time spot on the Grizzlies roster? We'll go over that in just a moment, but what's going on, everybody? Jared Alatorre here for another episode of Grizzlies Digest. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, for this developing story here, and just want to give a shout out to our 33% of our subscribers. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are fantastic. Y'all are doing a great job in the comment section. Y'all are really engaging with that RJ Barrett video from previously. 67% of you, what's going on? You got to hit that subscribe button. I know we're in the heart of college football season now, and we're just about to begin NFL season. I understand, but NBA season, it's going to sneak up on you. It happens. Time flies by just like that. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another upload from us here at Grizzlies Digest. But getting into the content right now. And the developing story is that free agent forward Olivier Maxence Prosper has agreed to a two-way NBA contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. As sources told ESPN, Prosper sifted through multiple offers and now chooses the Grizzlies to enter his third NBA season. So a little bit about Olivier Maxence Prosper. So he was a first-round pick from Dallas back in 2023. I think 6'7", about 230 pounds, great size, quickness. I think he has great length defensively. But he just really didn't work with Dallas. And now with Dallas having a more loaded roster, with adding Cooper Flagg, and hopefully you see Anthony Davis play a lot more next season. They're not going to have Kyrie Irving until early 2026. They added D'Angelo Russell to the roster. They re-signed Dante Exum, and they signed all of their big guys. They signed Gafford. They signed Washington. So they're very loaded at that position. Also, they're keeping Dwight Powell for the 10,000th year for some reason. So the Mavericks are pretty loaded. But now you have the Grizzlies who are trying to take advantage. They need more big man depth. And I went over that a little bit in the RJ Barrett video. I wish I went over a little bit more. But the Grizzlies simply need some big depth. And it doesn't hurt if you have someone backing up a Jaren Jackson, Aldama, Edie, Landale. Because if one of those guys goes down, you have guys like a Jackson or an Edie. It just takes one of those guys to come tumbling down, where that big man depth is going to start to get a little bit thin and shaky. So the Grizzlies are using this as an opportunity to amp up some of their defense, as there's obviously nothing wrong with that. Why did Dallas give him up, though? He just didn't mesh well. And for the Grizzlies, that doesn't mean that he's signing a two-way contract. That means, he was a first-round pick just a couple years ago, so he's worse than what we thought he was going to be 2 years ago. That's not the case at all. I think he just needed to fit better with another team. And I think the Grizzlies could really work with him. So a little bit more about Omax. As we talked about, the Dallas Mavericks moving on. Under the stretch rule, the Mavericks will pay Prosper's near $3 million salary for the 25-26 season over 3 years at roughly $1 million annually. And of course, they signed all those guys that we just talked about. Going into the last paragraph now, despite entering the league described as a further along than fellow 23 draftee Derek Lively II, Prosper never earned a consistent spot in the Mavericks rotation. While Lively has since emerged as one of the Mavericks franchise cornerstones, Prosper remained on basically the back end of the team's plan. So he was kind of always just sticking around on the bench while trying to earn his minutes, but most of those minutes would be garbage time minutes. He did start in actually 4 games last season. He played around 51, 52 games with Dallas, but only because they had a significant injury problem, and Prosper was pretty much forced to step in and actually be the 5 sometimes. So he's not going to be doing that with Memphis. He's probably going to be playing I would say he's a 4 guy. You could put him at small forward, but I think he's mainly a power forward guy. But I think he has great quickness. Think of him, folks, as like a smaller but quicker and a similar athletic version of Brendan Clark. I think B. Clark is 6'8". They're both Canadian. That's kind of interesting. But Clark is 6'8", Prosper at 6'7". And I think the Grizzlies could really work with Prosper. I think they can be patient with him. He's younger than Clark is. So maybe that could be something that the Memphis Hustle could transition him maybe into a full-time guy. And maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs a two-way contract. Maybe he needs to play in the G League a little bit more to get some good experience, get some confidence, get a full-time roster spot with the Memphis Grizzlies, just like he had for a little bit with the Dallas Mavericks. So a fresh start in Memphis. A native of Montreal, Prosper was the 24th overall selection of the 2023 NBA Draft, played in 92 games for Dallas, averaging 3.5 points and 2.2 rebounds. Last season played in 52 games, contributing 3.9 points and 2.4 rebounds per game. Now here's the critique. Perimeter shooting has been a particular challenge as Prosper has gone just 25 of 96, 26% from deep across 2 seasons. Defensively, like what I said, he's shown flashes of potential with his length and energy, but finding balance between reducing fouls and securing stops has been an ongoing hurdle. So a little bit more on Prosper as we see him in some highlights here with the Washington Wizards. Now, of course, as we just talked about, his weakness being three-pointers, you're going to see him just pop a bunch of three-pointers. And there he goes inside. And again, he's not afraid to drive inside, make plays happen. There he goes, jamming it down. Incredible athleticism as you see him driving along the baseline again. And there he goes, bumping into one of the Washington defenders. His perimeter shooting does need to get better, but I don't think that should be the vocal point of his game. I think that's going to be a work in progress, but I think he is raw enough to where if you're coaches from the Hustle, coaches from the Grizzlies, you can work with his raw athleticism, especially his defensive presence, to earn him more minutes on a Hustle, whether it's a Hustle roster or a Grizzlies roster. So that's the case for Olivier Maxence Prosper. He underwent right wrist surgery in March, but is expected to be available for the upcoming season. Memphis plans to utilize him in a developmental role with time split between the Grizzlies and the G League affiliates, so that's good news for him. For the Grizzlies, it's a low-risk addition that bolsters their wing depth with a young athletic defender. For the Mavericks, it marks another calculated roster shuffle in a summer defined by cap management and positional balance. So the Mavericks, and just like I'm talking about, the Mavericks, they have a logjam right now with their small forward, power forward, even their big man. So they're trying to create some space, and they pretty much said, well, we're going to sign Dante Exum. That pretty much meant the end of Prosper's tenure with Dallas. Only his first 2 seasons in Dallas, now a Memphis Grizzly. And here he is. Again, just an overview on Prosper. His 2024-25 stats, 3.9 points, 2.4 rebounds, 0.8 assists, and 40.2% field goal percentage. 6'7", 230 pounds, and I think he has a good enough body to expand on his game. And I think he's going to be a guy that is, again, I think, and that's Grant Avset, by the way, of Dallas Hoops Journal, describing it pretty perfectly. Very low risk for Memphis, and if so, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You got, right now, you got a young, raw, athletic defender, but you can help improve his shot in many ways. And we just saw he has shined from the perimeter, as we just saw in that highlight video there of Prosper. There are shades to where he can hit shots from downtown, but I think he needs to work a little bit more on that, work a little bit more on his game. I think this is a perfect plan for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Hustle, and again, low risk, and it could be a high reward for Memphis in the end. But that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching the video. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video, share it with your friends. You want to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel just yet. NBA season, it's coming, folks. It's coming like that. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, Jared Alatorre saying thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.